It's another original BW Sports One production. Pew pew! What's up, all you fight fans out there? Welcome back to the Combat Zone. I am your host, DeLion, with BW Sports One and Southern Indiana Combat Productions. SICP 3, baby. Finally coming up here, August 5th, Veterans Memorial Coliseum, Evansville, Indiana. Last time around, we had this man down. Unfortunate circumstances initiated a cancellation of the rest of the show. He did not get a chance to showcase his talents in the SICP cage yet. But now we're returning back. Terry DaBrick House is in the house, brother. How we doing?
Oh man, you know me, man. I'm blessed by the best, man. I'm blessed more than I deserve, man. All praises to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. I'm here, baby. What's going on?
Hey, we're just getting ready for another rumble, another throwdown. It's been a rough year with certain things happening, in the fight world. Your journey down to first we get to that. Let's kind of recap your past in the MMA realm, in the combat sports world, for anybody who, for some reason, does not know you, sir.
Uh, just to keep it short and light, had my first amateur MMA fight in October 2006, and what started out as just a hobby, man, has turned into a 17-year career. It'd be 17 years this coming October. So I mean, I've had some ups and downs, way more ups than downs. This sport has been really, really good to me. I've been able to utilize it and put myself in position to have several other opportunities. So I'm just blessed to still be here, competing on a high level, especially 17 years later. So, sport's been really good to me.
Absolutely. And you mentioned high level, a lot of people say, well, UFC, where's that been? There are levels, and you have been competing at the highest level of competition since 2006 when you started, damn near. So let's kind of reverse back. We're talking about March. We had you down for in the Evansville SICP2, the second coming. We went through that, got the weigh-ins. Let's kind of start there. I know that there was a little issue at the weigh-ins with your opponent last time. Being a fighter and dealing with certain things that you deal with. Kind of walk us through the day of the weigh-ins.
So the day of the weigh-ins, I woke up right on, man. I woke up. I woke up right on, and I knew I had about a 5-hour drive. So I get a phone call from someone from SIC, and so he asked me, goes, "How's your weight?" And I'm like, "Well, nothing's wrong with my weight. I'm where I need to be." And so I'm like, "Well, how's his weight?" Because usually when you get those phone calls, you know what it's about. And simply put it, he goes, "He's off." And I'm like, "Well, what's off?" So he goes, "Oh, he's fat." And I'm like, "What's fat?" You know what I mean? So we scheduled to fight at 170 pounds, and I was told he was pretty close to 180. And I'm like, wow, that's a huge difference. So we got 8 hours. I'm a veteran. Back in the day, I used to cut, 10 a day of, 7 to 10 a day of. So it's not impossible. So, I put the word out there, hey, man, he's got 9 hours, man. Get in that fucking sauna, dude. You got to do it and cut that weight, man. I'll see you later on this afternoon. So the more I thought about it, I got ready to leave maybe about 2 hours after that. And the more I thought about it, doing my work on the side through the commission, I start to understand that once you get a certain amount of pounds overweight, they won't allow the fight. So I ended up, I didn't want to lose the fight. So I ended up calling a representative back and say, hey, this is what I'll do. I'll change it to 175. That's what I'll do, because you're looking at a 10-pound difference, and now you're looking at a 4 or 5 pound difference. 4 or 5 pounds, we'll let it go. You get to 10 pounds, that's a whole totally different weight class. It's an unfair advantage for the guy. So I say I'll change it to 175. Then it'll give me an opportunity, drink a couple bottles of water, feel a little bit more comfortable, because I was driving by myself. Unfortunately, my wife couldn't make the trip. My team was meeting me down there the next day. So I had to make that 5-hour drive from Chicago by myself. So I changed the weight to 175, drunk a couple bottles of water, took some Pedialyte, sat in the car with me, sipped it while I was there. and I made the journey and got down there. So when I got down to the weigh-ins, weigh-ins started, and I knew I was still pretty light because I don't walk around as big as people think. I'm a short guy, so all of my weight is like right here. So I don't walk around as heavy as people would normally think I walk around. So I get on the scale, man. I mean, you saw it. You were there, fully clothed, sweater, shoes and shit, and I was maybe $171. You know what I'm saying? And so he gets on the scale. And I mean, for those who wasn't there, he was asshole naked. We had to get the towels. He gets on the scale. And this motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen, was 181.6. So that lets you know not only did he lie to the promoter about being under 180 and being, close to 180, he was over 180. He was 181.6. So at that point in time, I'm like, hey, man, like, it's 4 o'clock. He goes, yeah. You got 2 hours, motherfucker. You got to keep cutting. You know what I'm saying? Take your ass and go do what you got to do. You got 2 hours to cut more weight. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he didn't argue with it. He went and he did what he had to do. And in my head, I still was going to take the fight. Just want him to fucking suffer. You know what I'm saying? You're a professional. At this point in time, you're a professional. You got enemies doing stuff like that. You got coaches. You can talk to him. But not only is he a professional, but he has tons of pro experience. So he's been around for a while. So he knows it's not a no-no. Like, you didn't fucking try. For ladies and gentlemen, I look at it like this. If you're 1, 2, maybe 3 pounds over, you tried. Anything over 2.5, 3 pounds, you didn't fucking try. And it's just that simple with me. Now, if you come in 11.6 pounds over, you didn't even attempt to do nothing. So the idea, I called up my coaches. I called up, my close teammates who helped me through the training camp. And we said, make the motherfucker run and let him suffer. So we made him run for the last 2 hours. And we knew he was going to cut. We knew he was going to fight him regardless, because now at this point in time, it became personal. It's just a business. Fighting is the business. So you come to the weigh-ins 11 pounds overweight. Now it's fucking personal. Now, not only am I going to make you run for 2 hours, I'm going to beat the shit out of you the next day for coming in 11 pounds overweight. So after the 2 hours, he came in. I told you guys, I said he has to be 170 something in order for me to fight him. What he came in and weighed in at, I don't even weigh that on an everyday basis. He was 181.6. I walk around maybe 79. So him coming in the day of the weigh-ins was more than I walk around every day. So he ended up getting to like 178, 9.6, something like that. It was still high as fuck, but the only thing that saved the actual fight was me changing the weight to 175 as opposed to 170, because if it would have stayed 170 and we came in at 179 and I weighed in at 171, commission would have scrapped the fight. So that's what ended up happening there. And I'm not going to mention this motherfucker's name, because he doesn't deserve any of the attention, because, people go look up the situation, and he doesn't deserve any type of attention from me. And I told myself I'd never speak his name again, and we're going to leave it at that. And that's just how we got there, So the whole idea was to just make him suffer, and the next night, man, we was just going to fucking take his heart, man, and, beat his brains in for being unprofessional.
Well, and I can't deny or disagree anything you said there. I never made it to the professional level myself, was in amateurs, missed weight one time. It's called discipline. And like you said, once you're a professional athlete, you need to take that discipline to the next level, regardless of, what level you're in this game.
But see, there's one thing about discipline. There's one thing, you can mismanage your weight. It has happened to a lot of people. I've had guys call me in the sauna and say, hey, man, I'm fucking stuck at 2 pounds over. Managers of these fighters that I was fighting call me, say, we're stuck at 2 pounds over. We're literally in the sauna right now. And I say, hey, get the fuck out, drink some water, and come to the weigh-ins. We'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. So when guys try, and any fighter will tell you this, if you know a guy's trying, you will try to make it as comfortable as you want for them, because at the end of the day, you want them to be as fresh as they can the next night of the fight. You really don't want them to suffer unless they come in and pull the bullshit that he did. He didn't even try to cut weight, because when I looked at him the day of the weigh-ins, he was super fucking huge. 181 pounds, 181 and a half, close to 182. So when I looked at him the next night, he was the same fucking size. So me being in the game a long time, I understand this. You didn't try. You didn't try to cut weight. You came in at your walk around weight. You didn't try to cut this weight. You know about my reputation. Everybody knows I'll fight anybody, anywhere. So maybe they say, hey, he'll take the fucking fight, not letting him cut the weight. You know what I mean? So no, he didn't try. You know what I'm saying? He didn't try to cut weight. He didn't try to eat clean. He probably didn't even train properly, which is probably the reason I knew I was going to beat the shit out of him in less than 2 minutes. And I normally don't go around talking like this. Anybody that knows me knows the moment we realized he didn't actually train for this fight, that he'd not take me seriously. Like a lot of stuff started to float around in my head. And then that's when it started to become personal. Motherfucker, you didn't train. Motherfucker, you probably didn't eat clean. You probably enjoying every holiday eating fat. Maybe you thought it's because I'm older than you. You thought it was going to be a cakewalk. Like all of this stuff started to play in my head. And, it just got to the point where, I'm going to beat his brains in tomorrow for all of the disrespect that he put for me, a 17-year veteran, a guy that's been here, and you're going to make a name off me regardless. Whether if you beat me, it could have catapulted his career to the next level. If he lose, it could have been like, hey, ain't no loss. That's the brick house. He done been around. He done fought the best of the best. So he was going to benefit just from stepping in the cage with me. And it showed me the disrespect that he showed me by, being so unprofessional. I took that personally, and I really wanted to get in there and beat the hell out of him, man. I'm not going to hold you. So.
Well, that's kind of leading to my next question. Obviously some unfortunate circumstances happened on that first fight of the night. Commission canceled the rest of the show. Kind of going in, kind of take us back into that locker room. So you're leading up to this. All of a sudden, the issue happens. We're back in the locker room. We're trying to get feedback on everybody. Commission gives us the okay to do what we need to do. We thought we had it. Then all of a sudden, all hell broke loose on us with the commission, and it is what it is. But as a fighter, going through that whole altercation, that whole environment of fight night that didn't happen, how does that feel?
Well, like I said, I've been in this game 17 years. I've had a situation where 3 fights in a row fell out in the same exact way, and the one thing that I was taught in this business is to never take anything too personally when it comes. This is a business, it's a sport, but it's also an opportunity. You know what I mean? And you always use this sport as an opportunity to do other things. And fights fall out. It might be 2 in a row. It might be 3 in a row. It could be a year straight. I've known guys that go a year straight, can't get a fight because something's always happening. So I'm used to that. The only problem about it, because we had the unfortunate situation, what happened with the kid in the first fight. We all know about what happens with the Abels kid, and that's what caused the whole issue with the show. He collapsed in the cage. And so now we got chaos in the locker room because, like you said, a lot of those kids that was in the locker room, that was in both locker rooms, they're younger. And it's a different generation from the generation I grew up in. Mental health is such a big thing now. You can't take it for granted. You can't brush it to the side because it's a real thing. I grew up in an era where, you had the world didn't know us in the understanding. When I was growing up, you had to be a man, you had to suck it up. Shit happens. You got to, so we think a little bit differently from the young guys. And as I got older, I became a little sympathetic to what these guys are going through. I used to talk about it. Like, you motherfuckers are soft, but I got children as well that's in the same age bracket as a lot of those kids that was in the locker room. So I become accustomed to try to be more understanding about what they were going through. So once the kid collapsed in the locker room, with me and my team, my guys came to me and say, hey, when it happened, because I saw it when it happened, they say, hell, go to the dressing room, relax, put your headphones on, you still got to fight. So that's what I did. So I went downstairs, I went back in my dressing room, I sat down, and what happened. I think the problem was too many guys, and if this comes off as a critique to SIC, I apologize, but it just needs to be said because I do work for the commission as well. The problem was too many of those guys were allowed to go upstairs and see what actually happened. And so now you got guys running upstairs and seeing these kids collapse in the cage, and 10 and 15 and 20 minutes went by. And now, they're seeing one of their brothers, because this is a fraternity, seeing one of their brothers laying there and they don't know what's going on with them. There's chaos in the locker room. So now we can't get these kids under control. So now I had to take my fighter hat off and put my experience with the commission hat on and try to calm everybody down in the locker room. So now we're going around, hey, relax, relax. This is not get everybody calm. And it was a little harder on them. Like, I mean, I felt bad for the kid, but like I said, I've been around a long time. I still knew that I had to go out and perform. I've been at a show where a guy completely got his leg turned around, and I was scheduled to fight that night. And he couldn't even look down at his leg. And they laid him out, and they turned his leg back around. They put him in the cast and got him all. So the show kept going. So I knew at some point in time I was going to still have to go out there and perform. So when you get to the chaos in the locker room, they finally get the kid stable, and they get him on his way to the hospital. So now we got this difficult decision because, now guys are, don't want to go perform because of what they saw. They're shocked. They've never seen anything. This has never happened before, probably in all of sports. We were on ESPN going viral in less than 20 minutes, wasn't we? So we were. It had never happened in the sport. So my problem again is you have to take, like you say, you have to take mental health like really seriously these days. So now it's, do we allow these kids to go up and perform? And what ended up happening was, I believe somebody asked, who wants to still fight, like literally in front of like 40 fucking guys, which is what's the wrong thing to do. And the beauty about it is we were able to, you don't want to put these kids on the spot and tell them they have to go up and perform and this and that, and so that's why we all came up collectively like, hey, call them in one by one. Ask who want to fight. You can save the show that way, because a lot of guys still wanted to fight. Some guys didn't, but a lot of guys did. So ask them individually, we can save this show. We get 5 fights instead of the 10, 6 or whatever, we can save the show. You know what I mean? And so the problem with me personally is because I think and I believe my guy used that situation and what happened, unfortunately, to that kid to punk his way out of fighting me. And I'll say this with conviction, because what ended up happening was when I walked in, they know me. Hey, y'all guys, I'm still ready. It's what we're going to do. So when the show got canceled, it's crazy because I think he wasn't down there, but when the show got canceled, he started throwing stuff, throwing a hissy fit like, how y'all going to cancel the show? We're sitting there like, you said you didn't want to fight. Now, at this point in time, his people is coming downstairs. And he goes, well, no, I didn't. And we're sitting there like, it's the fuck you did. Like, I didn't say I want to fight. So his people was like, he said he wanted to fight. They're taking his side. And my people was like, no, he punked out. He goes, well, how do you know where's his opponent? And they didn't know that I'm just sitting here like this the whole time, not saying nothing. So now they're looking at him like, so you really like said no, like you didn't want to fight? So he calls out one of my guys in my camp. Well, I said no to him, but I'll fight you. And that's where the chaos started in the locker room. So not only did he use, I believe, and I think that he used that unfortunate situation to get out of the fight, because what a lot of people don't know, and only reason I'm talking so much about this is because I never said a word about it. Even though he went online and he bashed me, people was coming all on my social media talking trash about me, I never said anything. So now, since this is going public, I'm gonna put it out there.
You was just waiting to come on the combat zone, brother.
Look, he missed weight. He had to give up 100% of his purse, ladies and gentlemen, because he was 10 pounds overweight. He was 10 pounds over the original weight. He was 7 pounds over the catch weight. Okay. He was 11 pounds over the original weight. So he had to give up 100% of his purse, ladies and gentlemen, which means he was fighting for free. The only way he was supposed to win any money is if he won, then he got a win bonus. And I'm letting y'all know right now, he wasn't going to win, because I took that shit very fucking personally about coming to the show like that. So now you sit up here, you miss weight, you have no money. The only way you can win money is to actually win the fight. Now you got this guy angry at you, mad at you across the cage. So what do? Do you go out here and you taking the potential ass whooping just to win some money, and you're not gonna walk away with anything, or do you take the chump way out? Logically speaking, what would you think he did? You see what I'm saying? So he used an unfortunate situation to chump out. And now he walked away, no harm, no foul, and screwed the show because we were in the main event. You know what I'm saying? You screwed the fans. So not only did you screw me, you screwed my training camp, you said fuck your own coaches who somewhat got you ready, who showed up, who drove. I believe he's from Illinois. He drove 3 hours too, right? So you got guys and fans that drove 3 hours with you. You screwed them. You screwed me. You screwed the commission, all because you were unprofessional. And then you take it to social media and talk about me. Oh man, I was gonna beat him and this, and that. And if you was that confident, you was gonna win. You was gonna win some money if you won the fight. Could have went out there and proved it in the cage. You know, so that's what ended up happening. That's why I took it personally with him, and I vowed to never speak his name again. And after the whole social media incident, he's in my DMs like some bitter fucking baby mama, like answer my text, this, and that. And what he don't realize is when you're dealing with somebody like me, you're dealing with somebody very resourceful. And I heard from every single promoter he called after that incident trying to book a fight. And I'm the reason you haven't seen him in the cage yet, because what you don't do is fuck with Terry House, because I'm very resourceful and I'm very respected in the sport and everywhere. The promotion he called in Illinois to try to get a fight with, you know, he made his pro debut for them. Do you know I do color commentary for them and post-fight interviews for them? And this is what he didn't know. And they called me and say, hey, they were watching. This guy screwed me. And you really think they're going to book you to fight after you screwed one of their guys? You see what I'm saying? So I don't think he understood the reach that I have and the relationships I've built with some of the most predominant people in the sport. And he's feeling it now because he hasn't fought since then. And he probably won't ever fight again. And the people who do know about him is going to forget about him pretty soon if they haven't already. So
I just feel like I should say who.
nah, never mind. Let's move on.
That's right. We're moving on. SICP 3, August 5th. You against Travis Foster for one hell of a main event coming up. Both of you guys were on this past card. You should have fought. You had, I believe that your two opponents, your potential opponents, were teammates the last time around. Those fell off, and now here we go. We're putting the heavy hitters against each other for this main event.
Hey man, birds of a feather flock together, right? One teammate backed out, the other teammate wanted to go run with his head tucked in his ass like the other one, right? It's something real interesting about the guy Travis Foster, man. And like I didn't know anything about him before that night, you know, and we started missing out on fights. And I remember he walked up to the commission and he goes, my fight got canceled. And they were like, yeah, man, you know, you got backed out. And I heard him ask, he goes, well, are there any other welterweights on the card, like pro welterweights whose fight fell off, you know? And I'm looking around, right? So I look at him and I'm like, you know, mine's dead. You know what I'm saying? He goes, well, yeah. I was like, shit, man, I don't know you, you don't know me, but fuck, like, you know what I mean? You want to go upstairs and do it? Like, I mean, shit, I came here for a fight. And he was willing and able. You know, a lot of people don't notice, like, we were going to fucking hook up that night because our two guys chickened out. And we were like, man, he's like, man, I came in for a fight. I'm like, bro, I came in for a fight too. You know what I mean? So like, nobody got no advantage. Nobody knows shit about the other person. So we'll go upstairs and do it. We were going to actually do it, but the entire show got canceled. And I was like, man, I started thinking to myself, like, man, the cool ass fucking dude. You remind me of myself because that's how I get down. You know what I mean? And so I get a phone call and he goes, hey, man, we'd love to bring you back. You know, this, what, the bam. And I'm like, oh, well, who? And they threw his name out there. And I'm like, I like that motherfucker. I'm like, you know what? Let's fucking do it, man. I got all the respect in the world for that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he's a warrior. You know what I'm saying? He's a true fighter, you know, and I'm not talking about like skill and things like that. He's a fighter because for my generation, fighters fight. No excuses. You know what I'm saying? And he was willing to do that. And for that reason alone, he gained my respect, man. And shit, why not, man? I love to get in the cage and slang some leather for 15 minutes with him, man. So when his name got thrown out, I jumped on it, man. I said, I like that guy, man. Let's fucking do it. So that's how we are.
I think that's going to be one hell of a fight. I think it's going to be, obviously, it's a main event for a reason. I think that our wonderful matchmaking at SICP is doing its job when they're putting you two together or fights similar to this caliber. So here we are, prediction time. Terry, you got to tell me, how is this fight going to go?
Just don't blink, baby. I'm bringing violence. I'm sure he's bringing violence, and I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. You know, we're both veterans in this game. We've both been around for a long time, and we're just gonna go out there and do it, man. And this is it's gonna be one for the ages, man. Probably one for the year. You know, it's probably gonna be fight of the year, man, because my mentality has completely changed since the last incident, and and I don't know him personally, but you know I know of him, and I know he's a tough guy, and I know he brings it every fucking time, and so that's what you expect. You're gonna see two warriors going out there, blood, sweat, and tears, gonna leave it out in the cage, man, and the better man will win that night, but the real winner is gonna be the fans. It's just that simple.
I love it. That's right. August 5th, SICP 3 coming back to Evansville to the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. DaBrick House in the house. Terry House.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
His way back down south. All right, man. Fans, friends, lovers, haters, sponsors, you name them, throw them out here, brother. The time is yours.
Oh man, like I said, man. First and foremost, man, I just want to send all praises to the Most High, man. You know, like I said, I'm blessed more than I deserve. I believe I'm blessed more than I deserve, man. Life has been too kind to me, you know, and I'll always be humble, and I'll always walk with humility because I wasn't supposed to live to see 21. You know what I'm saying? And here I am, man. You know, I'm 43 years old, you know, educated, married with the family, you know, great career outside of fighting, great career in fighting. And that's why I'm always smiling. That's why I'm happy every day, man, because I shouldn't even be here. And here I am. And it's all because of the man upstairs, you know. So all praises to the Most High, you know. Secondly, my wife, most important, you know, my best friend, my rider, you know what I'm saying? All my teammates over at G2 Gilbert Grappling, man. Like these guys are, I mean, these, I don't know what else to say about these motherfuckers, man. It's just, they're all just special, man. I'm in a room with a bunch of special dudes, man. Like they push me every single day. They push me to the limit until like, I feel like I can't go no more. You know what I'm saying? And then like, guess what? They say, the fuck up. We doing some more. You know what I'm saying? So they keep me young. They keep me prepared. And they always remind me, you might be an older guy fighting, but you'll never fight like an old guy fucking with us. You know what I'm saying? So they keep me young and they keep me ready. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can say about training with those guys, like for a long time, I used to get ready for fights. So once I went over there full time years ago, I started to stay ready. So now I'm always ready because those guys, they stay ready. They don't get ready for camps. They don't get ready for fights. They're always ready to fight. So when I got over there full time, because I was just part time over there, when I got over there full time, they made sure they let me know we're going to always be ready to fight. We're going to always be ready for anything, whether it's grappling, whether it's boxing, whether it's MMA. We're going to always be ready. So I had to level up just to compete and practice. These guys are just that good. You know, I had to level up just to compete and practice. So I love those guys, man. And then at the same time, at the end of the day, they still give me that 17-year veteran, that OG respect. They're not assholes towards me. You know what I'm saying? Like they still give me respect like I'm like the OG that I am. They still come to me for any advice, anything they need. It's just that they train with me like they hate me, and I love it, man. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna see the dog come out, man. Not only did they brought out the dog in me years ago, now they done brought out the demon. So like I'm actually gonna, you know, just tell them I love these guys, man. I thank them every day after practice, you know. But now that I got the platform, I just want to let the world know how I feel about my brothers at G2 Gilbert Grappling, man. I love those little dudes, man. And like I said, man, August 5th, man, just don't fucking blink, man. You know, one of us getting knocked out.
I love it. There it is. Prediction. No matter
one,
when it's going to happen,
look,
it's going to happen.
He hits hard, I hits hard, man. He stand in the pocket, I stand in the pocket. We definitely gonna stand in the middle of that motherfucking sling some leather, man. That's the only thing I can say, man. Somebody getting knocked the fuck out, man. Y'all just gotta come tune in, order the pay-per-view, buy the tickets, come see who it's gonna be. It's gonna be exciting.
There we go. Terry DaBrick House coming in hot from Chi-Town,
Oh,
SICP 3, August 5th,
yes, sir.
Evansville Veterans Memorial Coliseum. That's right. Get your tickets and your pay-per-view. SICP 3, SouthernIndianaCombat.com. Terry, the Brick House. Thank you again for
Thank you.
always
Thank
having
you.
a wonderful conversation with me, my brother.
Thank
And
you.
until August 4th at the weigh-ins, I'll see you then. But
Oh
we're
yeah.
out.
I tell you one good thing came out of the last show.
Yeah, what?
One good thing came out of the last show. I got to meet Matt Hughes.
You did. And you never know who you might be able to meet
Oh
this
man, I
time.
got to meet Matt Hughes, man. That was probably the highlight of my life, man. You know, and I even whispered in his ear. I was standing there talking to him. I said, "Hey, man, if I get a chance to power bomb this motherfucker tomorrow, I'm gonna do it just for you." And it made him smile, man. You know what I'm saying? I meant it too. If I would have been in position to power bomb them up, I was gonna slam him through the cage. I was gonna stop and look over at Matt Hughes. And
It was like calling out the
oh man. Oh man, it was great, man. It's see you August 5th, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, man, get them tickets, man. Order them online pay-per-views, man. August 5th. It's gonna be a war zone, that motherfucker, man. Do what y'all gotta do. Make sure y'all tune in. Terry the Brick House.
There you go. The Brick House and the Lion. We coming in hot August 5th. And
Yes,
until
sir.
next time.
Oh
Peace.
yeah.